use the term functioning, I think it's a lot easier to understand and quickly comprehend what it's meant. Because functioning is measurable. We can look at a person and we can determine whether they're functioning well or whether they're functioning poorly by considering things such as how they aligned around their central axis. Is there compression happening in their posture? Is their posture off balance? Are they pulling down, which is an Alexander term for are they making compression through their spine and through their skeletal structure? Is their breathing being restricted? Functioning is really quite straightforward to measure, as opposed to use, which is that internal process of bringing all the parts together in a comprehensive way. So with the Alexander technique, we use a term which is that a person's use affects how they function in the world. Use affects functioning. So this internal process of bringing things together and coordinating and contextualizing results in what we can see, what we can measure, which is functioning. So one of the controversial points of defining use is that people interchange the idea of use with the idea of functioning. So they will observe poor functioning in a person and immediately jump to the conclusion of, well, that's poor use. But that's not the case. And Alexander made this point very strongly when he spoke about his best student. And his best student was a very elderly lady who was very, very stooped. And people questioned that this elderly lady who was so stooped was his best student. But he said, she's the one who had changed the most. She had changed her use of herself the most, being the best student. So as we explore our movement, we're looking at functioning of our own movement and other people's movement. And we're asking, what is the use of themselves that's resulted in that functioning? This is a very important point, so I'm going to write it in your notes as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about more complex ideas of use of the self in the next video.